Hi, this is me Karan. So on your screen, you can see this piece of code, and inside this piece of code, I have this class A. This class has one constructor and one copy constructor is also there, and at the same time, move constructor is also there. So here is the function create, which will create the object of this class A and will return that particular object. And from main, I'm calling create function, which will create the object. So take a pause of 30 seconds and try figuring out what will be the output of this particular piece of code. So let's look at how the code will execute. And for now, I'm assuming that this particular piece of code is executing without any kind of optimizations. So when from main we'll call create, at that time this create function will create the object of this class A. At that time this will call the constructor, that is output will be default, and then it will return the created object. And when it will return the created object, it will call the move constructor. So again this will call the move constructor, move constructor. And when we'll assign that object to X at the time, again the move constructor will get called. So in this case, again my output will be move. And now at the next line, I'm calling std move X. So simply this will print move. So in case when there are no optimizations in my system, at the time output will be default constructor call. And then when I'm returning the created object, at the time this will call the move constructor. So that's why I'll see move, and then I'll assign that particular object to X. At that time again this will print move, because in that case we'll again end up calling this move constructor. And at the next call, that is std move X, at the time again move constructor will get called. Now let's say inside my system this move constructor is not there at all. So this is not there. So let's see what will be the output in that case. So let me erase all this. So when this move constructor is not there, at that time again I'll call this create function, which will create the object of class A, and it will call default constructor, and it will print default. And when it will return the value, because this time move constructor is not there, so that's why we'll end up calling the copy constructor. So in this case my output will be copy. And when I'll assign the value to X here, at the time again my copy constructor call will take place. So this will be the output from this particular function call. Now when I'll call std move to assign the value to this Y, at the time, because again my move constructor is not there at all, so my system will end up calling this copy constructor. So again this will print the copy. So why this is happening? Because when move constructor is not there inside the system, we fall back to copy constructor. So that's why this copy constructor is getting called. So this is the output when copy constructor is not there inside my system. So now let's try understanding one more scenario. Let me erase all this. So let's say this time I am compiling my code using C++17 and it applies NVRO, named value return optimizations. So in that case, when I'll call create, so in this case at runtime when I'll call this particular function create, because this time NVRO has got applied, so I'll directly create the object in the memory of this particular X. So that's why this time I'll see only one constructor call, that is default. And why that has happened? Because of NVRO. So if you are not aware of NVRO, just read about it. It's a very interesting concept. Now when I'll call this std move and will assign the value of this particular object X to Y, at the time I'll end up calling move constructor. So my output will be move. So these two things will be the output, that is default and move. So in this case, because of NVRO, there is only single constructor call when I'm calling this particular function create. Let's say now inside my system there is no move constructor, then when I'll call create, at that time it will print default, and at the second line instead of calling the move constructor, because move constructor is not there at all, so we'll end up calling the copy constructor. So we'll see the output as copy. So in the first case, when move constructor is there inside my system and at the same time I also NVRO, so I'll get this particular output default and move. But in the second case, where move constructor is not there inside my system, at that time my output will look like this. So I hope this matches with whatever output you calculated. So this all is happening because of the NVRO. So you can read about this. And this is a very interesting concept which was introduced in C++ 17. So let's meet in some other lecture where we'll talk about some other question. Thank you.